Okay, better. Okay, so guys, I just have a few slides to share with you now. So is it going to be something applicable for teams? The spoiler alert is that yes, but of course the productivity tracker is something that we do for personal reasons, because there are different things that we all want to track in our lives. And but these principles that I'm going to share are things that I stole from the business world, from the things that we track when we operate a business. So we talk about KPIs, we talk about goal setting, we talk about strategies, smart goals, all these type of things. They belong to the business world, but I've translated these into productivity hacks for our personal lives. And most of the things that you will hear today, of course, I didn't really invented them, but I've gathered all this knowledge so that over the past 6 years, it helped me to transform my life. Now, so at the end, of course, I will talk about how you can apply it to teams. Let's move on. Today, mainly what I will do is to demo my personal productivity system. Although, as some of you have already seen it, I'm happily sharing my Notion whenever I'm next to someone. But today we are on YouTube, so I don't really know who is going to be watching. And so the idea is to actually share with you some of the informations. And if you need more, like if you want to see more, just reach out to me. I will be happy to onboard, to show you more during a free consultation, or like even just a short discovery call. And we are going to build this system that I'm presenting. While I was preparing this live today, I realized that building the whole thing from scratch was actually going to be boring. So I've moved moved forward, and I've pre-built some elements, and I'm just going to show you how it's built, and we are going to do some little adjustments today. Next is going to be, of course, for those who want to access this template that we are going to build, you just have to go to. I think the link is live already. I will share it. I think it's already shared in the description, but I'm happy to share it in the chat as well of this of today at the end of the presentation. But yeah, you can download the template from here. But if you do it now, you will access the draft template. So make sure you do it at the end. And of course, for those who want, I can send it to you by email at the end. Now, let's move forward with the big topic of today, because we are all at different stage in our life. Maybe some of you are watching and you are already advanced. Some others are really new, and some others might be older, younger. Some might have some disabilities. You all might have some health problems or mental problems. It's happening to the best of us. And the key message I have for today is that it's never too late to start. And to build a habit, it takes 21 days only. So imagine that all the things that you are doing on a day-to-day basis, you could completely change your life within the course of 21 days. And the best example I have for today and for this is when I was a hostel owner. Let me just put the presentation so it's actually easier here. And when I was a hostel owner in 2018, I ended up in hospital, and my health and my living lifestyle was really, really bad. But when you look at the outside results of my business, actually, I was quite successful. I had a team that was happy. I had a hostel that was fully booked, and reviews that were amazing on all different platforms that actually were ranking me among the top hostels in Saigon. But that's also a good lesson for anyone who listened today, is that sometimes you might have some aspects of your life that are successful, but the rest might not follow. And if actually you don't take care of yourself, if you don't manage well your lifestyle and your productivity, we will see it in a bit, then things like that can happen. And actually, when I was in hospital, everything had to stop, basically. So be careful with that. Now, the the transformation, let's say, and the most important message of today is that I've actually over the course of 6 years, so it didn't happen overnight, but I managed to lose 15 kilos of weight and be much more healthy, sleep better as well. So if some of you here are entrepreneurs, you know the hassle of, always thinking about your business. When you have breakfast, you think about the day ahead. When you are going to sleep, you think about if you think about the day, and did you actually made it happen or not. And in also like different aspects of my life, I managed to solve these type of issues where I feel more at peace, where I'm more aligned with what I actually want out of life, saying like spending time with my family, having more time to focus on deep work and bigger tasks for my business, and of course have time for exercising, learning, and all of that. And just as an illustration, for example, this is the ongoing productivity, or like, let's say, this is a sneak peek of the tracker that I have with the weeks, where I try to reflect every week on things that happen in my life. And all I can say is that I make progress on a week on a week over week basis. Now, what's the secret and how you can apply it? So let's dive into the big key element here. Is that you guys have to understand that it starts with you, and you have to prioritize yourself. And I say this from someone like me who was always curious about solving the world's problems and helping others. And I was always trying to help others, but at some point I realized that and I ended up in hospital because of that, because you have to take care of yourself first so that you can help others better. And that's a lesson that I've learned over these past 6 years. And so make sure that, whatever you build, and that's the foundation of this productivity tracker, is to make sure that you prioritize yourself. And the second aspect of prioritization of yourself is to make sure that you show and you don't tell others what they have to do. It's a mindset about like leading by example, and making sure that whatever you do in life, whatever you say that you will do, you commit to. But most importantly, you stop trying to help others or telling them what to do if you actually haven't done the work yourself. And this productivity tracker, I can guarantee, will set you on track in becoming a better leader, becoming a better example for what's coming next, and whoever you want to impact in the future. The second thing is that success is actually defined by you and not by others. And I know that this is very tempting to say that, oh, I'm going to be the number one. That was my case before. Like, I'm going to be the number one hostel in Saigon. And then once this happened, actually, I realized that it was it. Like I was actually super tired and overwhelmed. And even if I managed to make it to the top, it was not the key for success. The success actually starts with what you think is a successful business, what you think is a successful life, and not by comparing with others. And that's where I realized that, if you want to succeed in life, you have to compete with your past version of yourself. So when you start thinking like this, then you're like, okay, what can I do better today that I wasn't doing yesterday, and become a better version of myself, basically. And once you unlock this in your mind, then you realize that, okay, the road is going to be super long, because I have so many things I can improve. I have so many things I need to learn, and so my advice, and that's why I recommend everyone, and that's why this live is important today, is going to be about tracking the progress and tracking how you can do better step by step, one habit at a time, one task at a time, And this tracker that I'm going to share with you today is going to be the it has been the best tool that I've implemented in my life, and I hope that you will have this as a kickstarter for your next decade of productivity moving forward. All right, next. Hello, Mr. Dre, and I see some more people are actually have actually joined the chat. Very cool. Hello, guys. Make sure that if you have questions, you put them in the chat, or if you want me to go back, or it's a conversation as well. I don't see you, but I feel your presence, and I'm very grateful. So let's get started with the big topic of today as well. It's like, how do we get started to be a better version of yourself and those kind of things? And my simple answer is going to be that you have to learn, basically. And so if I had to share with you a few resources today, it would be, first of all, understanding, hello Sandra, it would be understanding what is productivity and what is a habit. So first of all, productivity. In productivity, if you study the word inside, there is the word product or production. And so if you've studied a bit of physics, you understand that to produce something, you need to spend energy on it. And then by spending energy, you transform the materials, and then it becomes like something else, right? It has an outcome. And productivity applied to business or applied to your life is simply the ratio between how much energy you spend into a specific outcome that has a value, right? And it can actually be, and we will see it with the habits as well, it can actually be a complete loss of energy for a very low value outcome, or the contrary, actually. So the first action that you can take today is to study of, among all the things that you've done in your life, among all the things that you are doing on a day-to-day basis, what are the most valuable outcomes, and make sure that you focus on the 20% of actions that create 80% of the results. And this comes from the Pareto's law that I recommend you to check. And all this productivity tracker in the end is here to help you finding, if you haven't found it yet, by just simply by doing. So it's this mindset of showing and not telling that we are going to study today. And basically whatever you can improve in your day-to-day, so that you create better results by spending less energy, and of course you become more productive. And the best resources out there that I've read, but also that you can find a lot of books about productivity because it's an entire topic. Among all the like, you just have to Google best productivity books, and some notions that you might want to check also is the best time management books, the best habits, the best routines, and also the best time management or self-help book. But self-help, honestly, I think it's a category, but I would rather focus on like what makes you more productive. Because it will help you for your business. And because I'm on Scale in Peace channel right now, I want to also focus on talking to entrepreneurs who have a team and they want to transfer all this learning and this energy to their teams and to their business afterwards. So productivity, I think, is the best keyword right now. And the second definition of all of this comes down to habits. And I'm not going to read that slide, but you can see what is a habit. And a habit is simply applied to productivity, is simply something that will help you to create some sort of a repeated action that is easier and easier to do because you practice it on a day-to-day basis, like a boxer who is prepared to fight on the ring, but except that the fight happens on a day-to-day basis when we are entrepreneurs. And by practicing every day these new habits, these things that will help you become more productive, and by tracking them, you start things faster. So think of it as starting things faster than your competition, and also faster than your previous version of yourself, and also the compound results here is a huge um, let's say KPI that we can have in mind, where the 1% that you do every day better over the year becomes 30 times, like you move forward 30 times in a year. So it's huge, like just changing one thing, one habit at a time. Um, okay. What we are not doing today, and I'm going to be very clear because those things could be inspirational, but for me, they are too overwhelming. The first thing is going to be these type of Excel habit trackers. I know this sounds, well, so to me, they look really overwhelming and overly complicated, but maybe some of you might be tempted to be like, okay, let's build, like the big dashboard and this big thing that will change my life, maybe because I need those type of numbers. But honestly, these things are actually, to me, they are ineffective because they don't help you to focus on what matters, and they don't help you to organize your tasks, and they are not connected together with days and things like that. Like, think about it here. You have some tasks and habit names were like that don't make any sense to me. I will let you I will read some of you, maybe like no snacks, or like call grandparents, drink protein. Like, it's, of course, those are certain things, like even go before bed, like call grandparents. I don't think you want to call your grandparents every day. So we have to make sure that we focus on habits that are actually going to move the needle forward. And also, what happened after you've done week 3 here, you know like what do? We need to redo a blank paper and redo this again. We duplicate, we remove. This is a bit overwhelming to me. So I want to avoid you who to have to do all these things that are looking very manual and complicated. And the second thing that we are going to avoid as well is this type of dashboards, which those are actually dashboards you could see on for a business. But for example, having tasks with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 categories, for me it's too much. Priorities, 4 priorities, it's too much. And for one task, having to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 informations, or like 6 information plus the note, and having them listed down like this with no flexibility on how to view them, are something that I really don't recommend to do, because you're going to be spending more time trying to improve this system, or even just using it, rather than actually being productive. And I don't want you to fall in that trap today. All right. So let's go sneak peek into my tracker. And again, for those who join only now, if we were on a one-on-one basis and you were next to me, I would happily show my entire productivity system. But because we are live and it's public, I don't want to share too much data. But feel free to book a consultation with me. I'm happy to take you around this if you need to see it, or if you want to see more in details. Or otherwise, use the chat to ask questions. Thanks, guys. So how I start, I hope I can zoom in. Okay, I cannot zoom, but it's okay. How I start my day, basically, is by looking at my tasks, okay? And these tasks, oh, I can zoom, cool. So these tasks look like this, okay? We have different tasks, and instead of having you remember the previous slide where you had this like very big list. For me, they are organized already in a calendar. Why in a calendar? Because if you follow the logic of how we organize our life today, we actually have to we meet people, we have things to do, like we have to go to the bank, we have to wake up and things like that. And so, for example, if I had to meet someone yesterday, then I know that I'm not going to be able to do something on that same time. And so Notion and my task system here allows me to move my tasks in my days and in my calendar, so like I block the time for that. And I made an entire live stream about this, plus many more videos on my channel about how I'm managing my tasks. So you just type task management on my channel, and you will find these videos. They are shorter. They explain how it works. It's not the topic of today, but it's part of the template that we are building, because once you get your hands onto productivity, we have to talk about tasks for sure. Now, what happens is at the end of the day, I make sure that I've tracked all the routines that will help me on a day-to-day basis become a better version of myself in the future. And those are sleep, breathe, exercise, eat 80%. So this is related to not being full and making sure that I'm always energized. Work less than 7 hours a day. This is a KPI I'm trying to match because I'm a father and I also have a business that I want to run in peace. Okay, so it's an important KPI. And recently I added finance, because on a day-to-day basis now I input my expenses and incomes so that I can have a better overview of the finances ahead. I put my journal here and learnings, and that's it. Okay, and then what happens next is, so this takes me 15 minutes. Okay, and then what's next is this is a view of the week, but we can just check the box. If I'm really in a rush, like if I don't even have 15 minutes, I just check the box and make sure I go to bed. And at the end of the week, this is what I can actually see. I can see how much times did I actually slept correctly. I brace correctly. So brace is basically meditating. Even just 5 minutes in my case is a big win, because I'm a I'm a busy family man, so if I have 5 minutes, I take them, and I recommend that you start with 5 minutes actually as well. But if you take an hour for meditation, that's perfect. Exercised, etc., etc. Okay, and then I can try to compare and try to make it evolve. So this is on a weekly basis. Then weeks become months, so this is a monthly basis, and then I have the quarters. All right, I want to dive in now into the demo. So let's go in. Let me just check the time and the messages. Okay, cool. Let's go. So once you download the tracker, you will have access to this page. I will make sure that I add more explanation over time. I've linked the live video as well, and so here is the tracker that I want to build today. So I've made sure that you guys have the task list. Okay, so the task list is simple. So these are filtered already by undone tasks. So for example, if yesterday I was supposed to improve the dashboard, then I just mark it as done, and it's out of my view, it's gone. Now, the good thing with tasks in Notion is that you can manage them with your calendar. So if I'm sorry, I went a bit fast, but if you click on the calendar view, you will be able to access the same tasks, but in your calendar. And so what happens is, let's assume that, oh wait, I made something, I need to make sure that there is no filter on this view. I will share with you this so you don't have to do it, don't worry. Okay, if I access this view here, and I just want to make sure that this is not this one. Okay, so here you see, oh sorry, they are gray, but here you see that, for example, I have meeting with Benjamin. So I'm like, who is Benjamin? How do I organize myself? Okay, so if I click on it, then I can see, oh, okay, this is for this date. This might be related to that project, that thing, etc. And meeting Benjamin actually is here in my task list. And if I go to the dashboard here, I can see Benjamin is supposed to be today. Okay, so now let's assume that I want to organize my day and I'm doing so much, but I actually cannot do these. I will just select them, move them to tomorrow, or simply delete them if they are irrelevant. This one is a wrong one, so I'm just gonna delete it. And then what happened is that on the calendar, everything that was supposed to be done today is moving automatically to tomorrow. And then goes again the time blocking that I was showing in the beginning. So for example, the landing page, you know, it's going to take 3 hours and I'm booking my whole morning because I'm free. But of course, the beauty of Notion Calendar is you can show your Google Calendar, you can show your Apple Calendar. And so if you had a meeting, you would see it. And then when you click again on Notion, you arrive on the task itself. You can work on it, do it. Let's say I'm doing it, so I'm going to mark it as done. Then that's the only thing I'm doing when I'm doing task. Okay. So I don't want to overwhelm you with the tasks, but that's basically what I do. Next, we're going to see the days. Okay. So days, it's actually very simple as well. This is the main view. I'm never using that view, but I will create for you the actual view. So let's go. Let's go creating the view. I'm going to create the tracker view basically. So I'm going to link it to the days. Days 2025 is this one. And I don't want any of these. I want a table, but I'm going to create a new table view. Database title, I'm going to keep it for the template, so like you can look at it. Vertical lines, yes. Icon, yeah, no, on s'en fout. Okay, and like this. Okay, cool. So this one is days. You can put an emoji if you want. So days, good. And here, what we want, it's very important. I want to filter and show only this week. Okay. And I want the view to be as simple as possible. So I'm going to remove the date, remove the daily review, and only keep the habits. Why? Because I want you to be able to name those habits, okay, that you want to track. I've put 5 in the template, but if you need more, you can just duplicate. I will show you how to do. And then that's it. So this needs to be full width now because it's actually a work in progress. And here we go. So we have our tracker here, and if you see here, it's filtered for only this week. So we have only July 25. Okay, we need to also order it by date, and it needs to be ascending like that. Okay, so this week is actually Monday 21 to Sunday 27. And so here I can say, okay, habit 1, habit 2, I've done it. Here I haven't done this 4. Here this 4 and 5. Here I've done this and this. Here I've done this, and that one. And so what happens or of course, again, like you can rename it. So just click on it and change the name. It's super easy. Okay. If you want to add one, just make sure you click on duplicate here. Okay. Next, I want to show you the weeks, because that's days who become weeks, weeks that becomes months, months, quarter. And that's how you actually become productive. So let's go. Empty view. I'm going to show you how to link it. So weeks, week 2025, these ones, this one. I want a new table view. I will call it weeks. Done. And the visibility here, I don't want to show the review date. I don't care. I don't want to show the review of the week. The days of the week, no need. Only the habits. And maybe the photo. And of course, I want to filter by review date. Or no, just no filter. What we'll do for this view, actually, what I've done is not this. Delete. I've actually done even better. We're gonna do a gallery. And I want to show the photo, because what I've prepared for you, and it's at the end of the week. So let's take the week of let's put the date, because otherwise it's going to be impossible for us to see it. So let's take the week of this week. So here this week, we already see that we have the habits that are prepared here because we've just checked them. Okay. And on the week here, at the end of the week, I select a photo that I like to actually have. So let me just choose a photo so it's actually easy. Let me just put this one as a test. And this is what you see when I give you the album, when I share with you the album here on this slide here. Okay, so you have the album of the week, and that's what I share. So I try to find the photo of the week basically, and when I click on the week, so I see my days, I see the months, I see the quarter. These are already connected. I've done it for the template. And here I see empty tasks. And I'm like, no, I actually have done tasks, right? So I can either click here and select the task, but you see here is actually not very easy to see if they are done, when, and all of that. And trust me, if you start to have many tasks, like it's my case, you don't have the ability to do this. So what I will do for this case is I will create a specific view for tasks. And I'm going to create a board view, assuming that it's going to stay tasks, board. I use the board here. I'm going to name it to finish. I don't like to have to-do list. And put it here. And here, I'm going to do a quick duplicate, tac. And this one is the week done tasks, layout board. I just need to make sure it's connected with the right database. Yes, it's just that I want to have the calendar here, show by weeks, and the filter done. Cool. Yeah, perfect. So I just make sure it's today. Just make it. Sorry, I clicked on the opening. Okay. Just making sure I have the dates here, the done is here, the type is here, and the weeks are also added. And so here I'm going to just connect them with the weeks. This I do it only once a week, and whenever I'm doing my review. So if you do it on a weekly basis, it's going to take 5 seconds to do, basically. So don't worry about having it to like seeing it's overly. It's not really complicated. And so by connecting this now, when I go to my weeks, so if I go to week 30, I can see the tasks that I've done. And so all of this helps me to create a weekly review. And I haven't showed you how it works, but okay, let me just do the Wednesday here. I create a review, so for Wednesday. I'm just going to copy paste this, so like we have a review for Tuesday. So this I do it at the end of the day, 15 minutes, 2 minutes, 15 minutes, more if I need to have more time for reflection. But at the end, the good thing is with Notion, you have a compound effect that is automatically moving to the next week and the next month and the next quarter here by having like the Tuesday, Wednesday, and so like it says what you have done, and this helps you to review your week. So you can say week 30, this and that happened. Okay, and if we move on to July, then at the end of July here, you start to see your habits going forward as you actually have your days filled in with your tracker. Then you have your reviews of the weeks moving forward. So let me just add more reviews of the week here. Week 29, review of this week. So imagine that you write a little more, of course. Go back to July and see here you see the weeks the weekly review. So you can just read it and make a review of the month. So July review 2025. I'm actually writing this live. Okay. And what happens is then time will fly and you will enter a new quarter. And you will want to review what happened in this quarter. And so you will see that you have monthly reviews. You will see that you have a habit that is actually done. This one is wrong. Let me just clear it. So it's habit 2 percentage checked. Numbers, show the numbers. Good. Okay. And so on and so on and so on. So years on years on years. And I've been practicing this for 6 years. So it's a template here that basically has because it used to take me like maybe 2 hours a day to do like my review and reflect and all of that. So I've put it to the test for the past 6 years to make sure this is something simple. And I agree that maybe you want to track more things, you want to do more things, but honestly, if you can identify today the 5 habits that are going to change your life for the next 10 years, you just simply have to use this template, put the names of these habits. You can change it over time. So I'm going to show you actually how to change it at the end, maybe at the end of my presentation. And you can have your tasks on a weekly basis to be reviewed. You can have your things, and then every day, every week, every month, every quarter, you will have an actual overview of what you've done that actually makes sense, what you've, how far you went, and how useful it has been. And again, it's just a 15 minutes thing that you do on a day-to-day basis. I hope that makes sense, and I haven't lost most of you. And yeah, if you do you use Sleep Tracker app? Yes, you can use Sleep Tracker, and you can actually input numbers here. So if you want to have okay, I'm not going to add it to the template because or maybe I just add it. Okay, let's go. So all right, so this is a day, right? And you can add a property called number here, and you can say sleep hours. So the reason why I don't do this, it's because as soon as you start, doing this, if let's say you forget to add it on a day-to-day basis, then the average or the sum of things will actually not make any sense anymore. So that's why I'm using checkboxes, because it's the same for tasks. Either the task is to do or it's done. And there is no, I'm doing it, I'm going to review it, I'm going to blah, blah, blah. It's like, it's very binary, and working like this has actually proven me to be more effective than if I try to go deeper into the details of how many hours I actually sleep. Here, in my previous tracker, I actually showed you here. Yeah. So I put sleep, and I just make sure that if I check it, it's because I feel energized enough based on the amount of sleep I had today. And if I took a nap because I completed my night of sleep, maybe my kid woke up and I had to take care of him, and I take a nap afterwards, then I still check this box because my sleep is a priority, and I've actually managed to sleep better with that. So to Tristan, maybe that's the answer to certain things. To actually, like if you want to track numbers, you can put the sleep hours here. I'm just going to rename this like number to track, and then you can rename it later. We can keep the number here, and then what happens is here, so let's say we put a 9. Okay, but that's a good night. Then you can have it, so here I will just add for you the roll up, link it to days, show me the sleep, Where is the sleep? Oh, wait, number to track. Okay, just show me the numbers. And here, I guess you want to see, because it's sleep. So that's where it starts to be too complicated already, but you want to get the average. And here you get a 9. So rename. I'm just going to put average. Okay. And so, assuming you do your day, so I did Monday, Tuesday, I'm going to put 8. Then I move on to, let me stick to the same week, Wednesday, so 7. Okay. So if I go back to my week here, I start to see the average moving forward. And so here you can track your average hours of sleep per night for this week. And per month, then you have to add the roll-up. So roll-up is connecting with the days here, and it gets the property number to track. So it's actually weird, but it's okay. And then you have the month number average. Okay. And here I don't want to show the original because it would just show the 9s, like all the numbers. I don't care. I just want the average. Okay. And so if, let's say, in week 27, on that day, here, you've actually slept only 3 hours. Then if you go back to July, it lowers your average. Okay. So doing this can be beneficial in some ways if you are very consistent. But I tell you, over the past 6 years, sometimes there are months I haven't done anything actually. And I was doing it backwards because, like, let's say I arrive at the quarter, I'm completely chaotic and overwhelmed, and I don't feel well in my life. I would go into my tracker and be like, yeah, I actually haven't followed up anything. I don't have any ideas. So I'm just going to go back into what I can, grasp and review just this month, in order to be able to move forward and do a full reflection on it. And so if I see this average number of 6.75, and it's only because I track only 4 nights out of the 3 months that I'm supposed to review, then this average actually doesn't make any sense. So that's why I stopped tracking numbers like that. But if you find a way to do it consistently, or even if you have the data stored somewhere, you can actually like import it at the end of the month or whatever, and then it can actually make sense maybe. If you want, we can discuss about that, and I'm happy to try to improve this system if it works. But as a template, I would just simply not track numbers like that because it's too complicated. Rather, I would say, look at your watch on the morning and say, okay, is it satisfying or not, and check the box or not, basically. Okay, I'm just deleting this, so I'm not messing around with my template. But that's something that's possible to track. A lot of people track numbers for many other things. I track numbers, for example, for finances. All right, moving on. I think we went. Yeah, I went to what I wanted to say today, and let me just check if I actually finished the creation of the template, because otherwise you guys will not get what you need. These are nice, but they are too big. So let me just put small size like this. So a year has 52 weeks. So let me just make sure that it doesn't, it loads everything. So yeah, the picture of the week is something that I've implemented also right away, because part of the things that we track personally, I mean, and you could do it for a company, actually have a weekly meeting and take pictures and add them here. It's simply because we are visual human beings, right? We are not just about words, and we remember things more visually. And so when we have this type of images, it's creating like a yearly album, and that keeps you motivated to move forward, because you see that all these moments were memorable and you want to live more in your life. The done task here is mainly for adding the week, so I'm just going to keep it here. I'm going to add months. So months, we could also have photos of the months. That would be actually great. I'm just going to put months here, and Um, this one here. Let's just put this table. I think it's fine. Um, so I don't care about the review date in this view at least. What I want to see is this: how much progress am I making? And imagine that you are doing it every month. Then you will see some kind of a curve going like that, or maybe like this. And monthly review, so you can put it at the end. Week reviews. This I actually would hide it from this view because you just want to have the final thing, not just the whole reflection table. And of course, if you go into January, you will be able to watch and see what happened actually. So here, let me just rename it months. Up. And last one is, so I'm just going to, no, create a new view. Yeah, quarter 2025. Let's go. Just hiding this. Review date. Maybe because it's a quarter, we don't go on it often and there is only 4 lines. I'm going to keep it. Habit 1. Habit 2. Oh. With this view, it's better to keep it like that. Habit 4. Habit 5. Let's go. Month review. Hide. All right. And quarter. Yeah, I think it's good. We have everything we need. And so to finish here is the tasks. Okay, so tasks goes into the days, plus the habits, plus the reviews. Then it goes into the weeks. This is for your on a weekly basis if you want to have the task into the week. So it's actually not compulsory. Weeks, months, and quarter. Let's go. I think it's finished. I think we're good. I think we're good. Yeah. So let me just finish the presentation, and I think we can wrap up. So the link is on my website. It's on the video description as well. Yeah, we have, so most important principles to remember are going to be about the 80-20 Pareto. So at the end of the day and at the end of the week, the months, every time you review something, you want to make sure that you force yourself to identify what were the 20% of actions that created 80% of the value outcomes. So like you keep doubling on these and you basically eliminate the rest. Then the second thing is, whatever you start today, make sure that you try to stick to it over the next 21 days. And I'm saying this because I've tried to start so many things in my life, and every time it was some sort of a failure. It's simply because I haven't managed to transform that attempt into an actual habit. And so make sure that whatever you do, it becomes something that is transformable as a habit. And a habit takes 21 days to transform. The mindset as well behind all of this is to show yourself and others as well, of course, things. Make sure that you actually see that they work instead of just saying them and telling and speaking a lot and not actually doing it. And of course, once you have this mindset of doing things, improving them, you understand that you cannot do it on a you cannot have extreme results overnight, and it's something that takes time, and it's a step-by-step process. I was thinking of doing an actual follow-up workshop for those who were interested, but anyway, if you download the template, I will be able to email you afterwards. And so I will make sure that if I'm scheduling something, it's included in those emails. And otherwise, I'm wishing you all a great day. And I hope that with this productivity tracker, you will not start from scratch like it was my case 6 years ago. And it's actually going to help you to transform your life and your business in a positive way. And if you have questions about how to implement this for yourself and your team, because again, those things come from the business world and they are just applied to personal life. So they are definitely 100% applicable to an entire team. That's what I'm building with Scale in Peace. I'm building this type of workspace, but for teams. So make sure you book your free consultation with me, and we can discuss how I can help you to reclaim your time and scale your business in peace. Bye, guys, and thank you for today's presence. Bye.